This extract is from the script of a musical film, My Fair Lady, adapted from Bernard Shaw's play, Pygmalion. The play revolves around Professor Higgins and Colonel Pickering, who are interested in phonetics. They stumble upon a poor flower girl, Eliza, who speaks a very peculiar accented English. Higgins has a bet with Pickering that he can pass off Eliza as a duchess in a matter of weeks. Let's see if he is able to prove himself.
The rind and spine stays mildly in the plant.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Didn't I say that?
No, Eliza, you didn't say that. You didn't even say that. Every night before you get into bed, where you used to say your prayers, I want you to repeat, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain 50 times. You'll get much further with the Lord if you learn not to offend his ears. Now for your H's. Pickering, this is going to be ghastly.
Control yourself, Higgins. Give the girl a chance.
Of course, no one expects her to get it right the first time. Watch closely, Eliza. You see this flame? Every time you drop your H, the flame will remain stationary. That is how you'll know you have done it correctly. In time, your ear will hear the difference. Now listen carefully. In Hartford, Hertford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now repeat after me. In Hartford, Hertford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
In the Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
No. Have you no ear at all?
Should I do it over?
No, please, no. We must start from the very beginning. Do this. Well, go on. This is the same thing holds true in India, Pickering. The peculiar habit of not only dropping a letter like the letter H, but using it where it shouldn't be, like ever instead of ever. You'll notice some of the Slavic people, when they learn to speak English, have a tendency to do that with their G's. They'll say linner instead of linger. And then they'll turn around and say sinner instead of singer. I wonder why that's so. I must look it up.
Higgins starts for the landing. Eliza, by this time, is sinking fast from lack of oxygen. Pickering notices her dying gasps and pulls Higgins' arm to call his attention to it.
Higgins, look at the poor girl.
Go on.
Eliza musters together one final and blows out the flame. The room is plunged into darkness.
Poor Professor Higgins. Poor Professor Higgins. Night and day he slaves away. Oh, poor Professor Higgins. All day long on his feet, up and down until he's numb. Doesn't rest, doesn't eat, doesn't touch the ground.
Kind of you. Now listen, Eliza. How kind of you to let me come.
How kind are you to let me come?
No, kind of you. It's like cup of tea. Kind of you, cup of tea. Kind of you, cup of tea. Say cup of tea. A cup of tea. It's awfully good cake. I wonder where Mrs. Pierce gets it.
First rate. The strawberry tarts are delicious. And did you try the plain cake?
Pickering! It's not plain cake, it's plain cake.
Ah, that's right. It's plain cake.
Now try it again, Liza. A cup of tea. A cup of tea.
A cup of tea.
Can't you hear the difference? Put your tongue forward until it squeezes against the top of your lower teeth. Now say cup.
Cup.
Now say off.
Off.
Now say cup, 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 off, 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 off.
Cup, 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 cup. Off, 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 off. Cup, 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 cup. Off, off.
By Jove, that was a glorious tea, Higgins. Do finish strawberry tarts. I couldn't eat another thing.
No thanks, old chap. Really.
It's a shame to waste it.
Oh, it won't go to waste. I know someone who is immensely fond of strawberry tarts. Cheap, 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 cheap.
Ow!
Poor Professor Higgins. Poor Professor Higgins. On he plods against all odds. Oh, poor Professor Higgins. 9 p.m., 10 p.m., all through midnight every night. 3, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3.
Eliza is seated in the wing chair. Higgins has drawn up the stool and is facing her, with a small box of marbles in his hand. He is placing them in her mouth.
4, 5, 6 marbles. There we are. Now, I want you to read this and enunciate each word just as if the marbles were not in your mouth. With blackest moss, the flower pots were thickly crusted, one and all, each word clear as a bell.
The blackest one, the surface. My comb!
I say, Higgins, are those pebbles really necessary?
If they were necessary for Demosthenes, they are necessary for Eliza Doodle. Go on, Eliza!
The blackest one, the surface. The kitty casket were at all. The rest is made.
I cannot understand a word, not a word.
The blackest mouse, the far paw, with kitty casket were at all. The rusted leaves fell from knots that had appeared.
I say, Higgins, perhaps the poem is too difficult for the girl. Why don't you try a simpler one, like The Owl and the Pussycat? Oh yes, that's a charming one.
Pickering! I cannot hear the girl. What's the matter? Why did you stop?
I swallowed one.
Ah, don't worry. I have plenty more. Open your mouth.
No. No.
Ah, come on.
No.
Quick, Professor Higgins. Quick, Professor Higgins. Here are plea or Badery. Well, quick, Professor Higgins. Ain't no time, all our time, pounding, pounding in our brain. Ain't no time, oh no time, don't say right, say rain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Not again. I'm so tired.
Oh, for God's sake, Higgins, it must be 3 o'clock in the morning. Do be reasonable.
I am always reasonable. Eliza, if I can go on with this blistering headache, you can.
I have a headache too.
Here. Eliza, I know you're tired. I know your head aches. I know your nerves are as raw as meat in a butcher's window. But think what you're trying to accomplish. Think what you're dealing with. The majesty and the grandeur of the English language. It's the greatest possession we have. The noblest sentiments that ever flowed in the hearts of men are contained in its extraordinary, imaginative, and musical mixtures of sounds. That is where you set yourself to conquer, Eliza. And conquer it, you will. Now try it again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
What was that?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I think she has got it. I think she has got it.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
By George, she has got it. By George, she has got it. Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain. On the plain.
And where's that soggy plain?
In Spain. In Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. In Hartford, Hertford, and Hampshire,
Hurricanes hardly ever happen.
how kind of you to let me come.
How kind of you to let me come.
Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain. On the plain.
And where's that plain?
In Spain. In Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Now let me introduce the actors of the play. Alankrita Yadav as Professor Higgins.
In our time, oh not time, don't say run, say rain.
How kind of you to let me come.
Hardik Tiwari as Colonel Pickering.
Did you try the flying game? Did you try the flying game?
And did you try the plain cake?
Pickering!
Ah, plain cake, plain cake.
Nivedita Shukla as Eliza Doolittle.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Eliza,
Oh yeah. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Now it's time to introduce the members of the choir.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Akriti Mishra, Avnika Jain, Jayata Srinath, Angel Singh, and Shreya Srivastav. And I am Risha Tiwari, the narrator of the play. Thank you.